Time now for Comfort Time Live. Comfort Time Live is a call-in radio show educating you on issues surrounding your home. Don't become a statistic. Listen in and find out how you can protect yourself. Comfort Time Live. Comfort Time Live. And now, here's your host, your personal comfort consultant, tackling all of your home comfort issues. Here he is, Tom Platania.
All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I should say good evening, and welcome to another edition of Comfort Time Live. I'm Tom Platania, your host, and we got it?
We pulled it off. Wow.
Now, were you able to hear my audio coming out of the computer?
Oh, yeah.
You were
Of
beautiful.
course, yeah, everybody heard the show. I saw the needles moving. Folks, we're talking about some behind-the-scenes stuff here, some technical things that, well, I'll tell you what, people consult engineers and they pay big money for the consultation and everything, but all we have to do is brainstorm and we'll figure it out. Yep. But what we're doing is we're doing like a triple broadcast right now. We're broadcasting on WPSL.
Yep, absolutely.
WPSLTV.com and ComfortTimeLive.com.
Actually, we're doing more than that. And we're on Ustream. We're on ComfortTimeLive.com.
Yeah, we're on Ustream.tv. That's right.
So we're actually quadruple.
That's 5, though.
5. So WPSL, WSTU, WPSL TV. Mm-hmm. Are we on WSTU TV?
No, but I'll tell you what will happen. Okay, this show is going on to Ustream, but then what do we always do? We always put it on YouTube afterwards. So, and that's where it'll archive on YouTube.
Yep, that's exactly. And that's what we're trying to do is, we're really trying to give some diversity to the show and to get it out there. Not everybody who can benefit from what we talk about on the show listens to AM radio from 6 to 7. So we have to give people an opportunity and a way to be able to listen to the show, even if they can't sit down from 6 to 7 and listen.
You ready for me to blow your mind?
Oh, please.
Okay. These folks out there listening to this show, you've been doing this for 5 years.
Yeah.
How many topics have you covered in 5 years?
Thousands.
Okay. Did you know that anybody can just go to Google or YouTube and just type in Comfort Time Live, and then whatever topic that has to do with construction or your home or home comfort, if that category is in there, it's going to show up in that search.
Wow, and that's
then
a lot of
you click
shows.
And watch the whole show.
That's like 500 to 600 shows.
Yeah, but you narrow it down. Comfort Time Live, that means you're looking for Comfort Time Live, it'll find you, no problem. Google knows it already. In fact, Google loves you. But what will happen is they can put that comment in there, and then whatever topic, say unlicensed contractors or IRS or
FPL. Or mold or attorneys,
Chinese drywall,
all of that stuff.
It's all there.
All of it. Yeah, I'm really trying to find ways, and as listeners contact me, email me, different people, I'm looking for ways to get the information out there to a broader base. Now, it's great that you folks are listening. You're either driving in your car right now or you're sitting at home, maybe just before dinner, maybe just after dinner, whatever you're doing, and you're listening to the show and you're having some good time, hopefully. And if not, hey, give me an email, send me a message, and let me know what you'd like to hear. The show's about you. And if I'm not providing you with the right information and you're turning the dial, then I'm not doing my job. So I'd love to hear what's going on. What could bring you closer to me. So I've done a lot of things. Now, of course, we have the website, ComfortTimeLive.com. And I actually today, Cliff, I went and gave it a facelift. On the front page. I gave it a facelift on the front page. And the reason I did that is because, there's a lot of information on there, but what I wanted to do is the audio and video and the chat rooms and things like that. We're in the 21st century, ladies and gentlemen. You see all these radio shows and whatnot. They're going to the video, so that radio is theater of the mind. However, we also want to some of this stuff we can actually have people look at and watch and listen to and things of that nature. So the important thing is you go to that website, and the first thing that pops up now are the two Ustream, the video and the chat room. Now, you got that up, Cliff, but I'm not seeing video.
Well, it's still loading it, but I
Oh,
see
okay.
the facelift looks good.
Oh, okay.
How
Yeah,
did you get that? Plastic surgery?
Yes, exactly.
okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it's one of those doctors.
Okay.
Got arm
Was
and a
he
leg.
drunk?
It was an arm and a leg.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's supposed to be an ear and a nose.
How do you like these two? I got these.
Yeah. That's... Where'd you get those, Tom?
Doctor down at Stewart. All right.
Okay.
Never leave home without it. So when you go to comforttimelive.com, you'll be able to watch the audio, video, watch all the archives of the shows there. And it's important because just like Cliff was saying, you can scroll down through them. You can watch all the shows. And I tell you, I'm making a lot of changes based on listeners emailing me and calling me. You know, we've kind of gone from 5 years ago, we started talking about air conditioning. And then we got callers that called in and said, well, how about roofing, and how about plumbing, and how about, so we brought other expert guests on and broadened the show.
We were also at a very hard time for the Treasure Coast because all those storms had taken place, and unlicensed contractors were running amok.
Huge.
And they were really messing up everything.
So that was the big topic then.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Because that's what was going on in the
At
community.
the time. Mm-hmm.
So then we started getting more, and we started broadening the horizon of Comfort Time Live, and to the point now where we're actually talking about home and lifestyle improvement, and it's great. And I got that, Cliff. So that's good. It's working.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at Comfort Time. In fact, if you go to comforttimelive.com right now, I'm in the chat room, and you can heckle me there if you want to while you listen to Tom.
And you go to comforttimelive.com, you can actually see us in the studio right now talking. So if you ever wondered what the WPSL studio looked like, or if you're listening on WSTU, still go to comforttimelive.com and you can watch us in the studio and see how the magic works behind the scenes.
Right. Ustream will make you watch a little commercial first, but that's all right. After that, you can watch the whole rest of the show.
Yep,
No
absolutely.
And you won't miss any of the show during that commercial.
And then
When
all
they show a commercial,
archives,
pauses
too.
the show. Yeah.
Yeah, and at the beginning, and I think I'm going to, see how things go here. I think I'm going to go for the account that actually wipes out the commercials.
Yeah.
It costs a little bit of money, but I also get a lot of other benefits on that. But for the listeners, I think I may go that route because I don't want folks to have to watch a commercial.
Right.
Unless the commercial's about what we're talking
Right.
about.
Now, your sponsors, as of now, they'll hear before when we'd go to a commercial break, you wouldn't hear the sponsors. We'd
I
have the
didn't
little
know that.
Now we our little brainstorming before the show this evening. Now your commercials, and so your sponsors that pay for advertising on the radio, well, they're getting the internet now too.
Beautiful. Well, that's good.
So you might.
Yeah, that's good. And I'm going to listen to the show, obviously, and make sure that there's no glitches in what we talked about.
Yeah.
But we got some great stuff coming up. We actually have a listener who's going to be calling in later on today, ladies and gentlemen, who has been a long time listener of Comfort Time Live. Mm-hmm. And I actually gave her some neutral third-party advice, stopped out to her house years ago when I was doing that, made some suggestions, had an air conditioning company come out and do the suggestions that I made, and it fixed her problem. But now, controversy arises, and she's got all kinds of issues going on now. So she's going to be calling in and talking to us about that. But so we talked about changing from just air conditioning to home improvement to home and lifestyle improvement. Mm-hmm. And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Comfort Time Live, and I'm Tom Platania. If you'd like to call here at the show, it's 340-1590. That's 772-340-1590, and you're listening to us on WPSL and also WSTU. Now, this show is done on Blog Talk, and I tell you, I went on Blog Talk today and I pulled up a report of the shows that I've done. I've had over 43,000 listeners on my Blog Talk radio shows, and a lot of those are live shows. Some of them are recording these shows. But that makes me feel good. And actually, for just the past 10 shows that I've done, over 18,000 people have listened to that on Blog Talk. So you have to say, internet radio is huge, and it's getting more and more predominant. So if you're not on there, ladies and gentlemen, you're missing a lot, because I tell you, there's a lot of information, a lot of other shows. Go to blogtalkradio.com, or you can just actually go right to comforttimelive.com and listen to all the Blog Talk radio shows.
What was that figure again?
43,000 listeners.
Okay, that's about half the size of our listening audience.
And 18,000 just for the last 10 shows. I did
Wow.
one show, the show I did on Contractor Scam and Frauds. That show itself had 12,000 listeners just for that one show. So that that tells you what the hot topic is.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That is a very good indicator.
That's a hot topic.
In fact,
there.
what I would do if I were you, when you have a show that has hits like that, go to your Facebook and share it there with everybody.
Yeah.
Because all your friends on Facebook, they hear the show, they love the show, but
That's a good idea.
what about that show that brought in 12,000 listeners?
Yeah, and that's good because if I run that on Facebook and say, hey, listen to this, I just found I got 12,000 listeners just from this one broadcast. There must be a reason why. Listen in.
Although you're here on Florida's Treasure Coast, it's obvious that people are listening in from all over the place.
Yeah, because that's where Blog Talk. I mean, 3 million listeners a week they have.
Oh yeah,
That's huge. That's just a couple more than right here at WPSL.
People can learn things about the construction industry and comfort from anywhere. Yeah, that's right.
It's
it applies to everybody.
Exactly.
Comfort.
So another thing we're doing is we're actually broadening our horizons as far as the type of guests that we bring on the show, because we're dealing with home improvement, lifestyle improvement. So what I've done is I've reached out to a couple websites that allow you to find guests to interview on the show. And I really never knew they existed, but I signed up for one, and I tell you, I got just inundated with national, international people who want to do interviews.
And it's topic related, too.
Absolutely. And, lifestyle improvement is probably the biggest one. And what we have coming up on February 27th, mark your calendars for this, world-renowned Bill Patty presenting your voice and speech communication skills for the 21st century. Now, he says that these are vital skills which will improve the lives in 3 distinctive ways. Maybe tips to make more money, find that true love, I need to listen to that one, and develop the personal confidence that you need. So what better lifestyle improvement than to be able to make a little bit more money, find that one true love if you haven't already found her, and develop that personal confidence that you need. So that's going to be an absolutely great show. That this is something that I would love to hear this, and I'm really excited about having Bill Patty on the show February 27th, right here. Now, also on March 6th, we have another famous author. His name is Doug Hess. Now, Doug Hess, you ever remember watching? You ever heard the show Wall Street, the movie Wall Street?
Yeah.
And the character Gordon Gekko.
Gordon Gekko.
Remember the character?
He was an actor.
It was the guy played Gordon Gekko was the actor, but I believe, he is the co-author. Doug Hess is the co-author of Gordon Gekko, CEO: Lessons from Wall Street for a Winning Attitude. And what he's going to do is he's going to talk to us on March 6th about how to prepare the right attitude to gain success, whether in the workplace or in life.
Oh, attitude has a lot to do
Absolutely.
with everything. Just look at all the drama that's going on out there.
And he said research indicates that a simple turn in your attitude will make all the difference in the world, whether your health, having better relationships, or furthering your careers. Attitude drives so many different aspects of our lives. We even found that people with positive attitudes make more money. Because you attract people. Positive people attract positive people.
The law of attraction.
Yep, absolutely. And last but not least, before we go to our first quick break, there's another show that I'm doing, but unfortunately, it's on April 2nd. But you're going to have to listen to it on Blog Talk Radio.
This is the one that you can't have on the broadcast radio.
Due to mature subject matter.
But no profanity, of course, and
no. It's actually a very adult-oriented, educational, adult-oriented, and the show is going to be by Mark Michaels and Patricia Johnson, who are the authors of Partners in Passion. The whole premise is it's a guide to emotional intimacy and long-term love.
Sounds like some fine folks to go camping with sometime.
So once again, lifestyle improvement, because what's one of the number one things out there is divorce. 60% of marriages end in divorce.
60 now.
60% of marriages end in divorce.
Wow, because it was 50 for so
long. And the other 40% kill their spouses.
Just about.
But it's so, I thought these were some good topics, and, it's kind of a little outside the box, but, you're talking about lifestyle improvement. You can't get any better than these right here. So, all right, well, we're going to go ahead and take our first quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about maybe where the real estate market is, or maybe we'll have our special caller on the line with us. You're listening to Comfort Time Live on WPSL and WSTU 340-1590.
Elite Electric.
We can do it.
Elite Electric.
There's nothing to it.
Elite Electric.
Ooh, amazing.
Elite Electric.
Boogie, woogie, woogie, woogie.
Elite Electric specializes in all of your electrical needs, from security lighting to surge protection and everything in between. How do you think they got their name? Elite Electric. Elite Electric has been family-owned and operated on the Treasure Coast since 1988, and they're recommended by Comfort Time Live. Visit online at eliteelectricandair.com and learn more about their services. Elite Electric. Service today. Proud sponsor of Comfort Time Live every Thursday evening at 6:05 on WPSL 1590.
No matter what you want, just pick up your phone, say, come on, Elite.
And we'll get the job done.
We can do it.
Elite Electric.
There's nothing to it.
Elite Electric.
The average person moves 5 times in their lifetime. If it's moving time for you, Tom Platania is ready to sell your home quickly and professionally. Tom's unique promotional plan includes real estate magazines, online listing sites, print advertising in your local paper, and exposure to thousands of people on his popular home improvement talk radio show, Comfort Time Live. Call 882-5700 to get your house on the market and featured on Tom's websites. Details about your home will reach thousands of interested buyers, but don't delay. Call Tom Platania today. 772-882-5700.
And now back to Comfort Time Live. Once again, here's your host, your comfort consultant, your comfort professional, Tom Platania.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Comfort Time Live. I'm Tom Platania, your host. And I tell you, it's been a great evening. This weather has really been pretty interesting. Up and down, 80 degrees, 50 degrees, but at least, hey, I sit there, watch the Weather Channel, and I see 29 degrees, 22 degrees, 30 degrees, 82 degrees in Florida. I guess if you like that kind of weather, it's a great thing. But I don't know, maybe are they jealous of us?
What happens here now, see, the snowbirds, they come down from up north, and when it gets down to 30 degrees, they're the ones that are sitting out there with the Bermuda shorts, the sunglasses, the straw hat, and the sunblock on their nose.
Oh, hey, don't forget True Radio. We'll talk about True Radio here in a little bit. True Radio is on WSTU 1450 every Thursday morning, and that's our real estate show. We have 4 of the top realtors in South Florida to educate you. We did a great show today with Chris Flaherty from Fidelity Funding Mortgage, and we had an absolutely awesome show. And if you'd like to watch that show, go to True Radio, TREU, radio.com, and you'll be able to watch that live show. And we do have our longtime listener, Melanie, on there with us. Hello, Melanie.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm doing great. Long time no talk.
True.
How long's it been?
2 years?
It's been 2 years. Gosh, at least 2 years.
But you've been in touch, like, on Facebook and stuff?
Emails. We've
Email?
been in communication from
Okay.
email. So, Melanie, once again, please do not mention any names of any companies.
Okay.
And what I'd like to do is kind of take us back to the beginning when you first contacted me, and tell us a little bit about what had originally happened.
The very first time, right?
Yeah, the very first time.
Okay, so I moved into my new home, and it was very hot. And everyone came out, and they would tell me get another unit, and that, didn't make much sense.
Now,
so
was
I
the
said,
whole
well,
house or certain areas of the house?
So I'm listening to your show, and you're telling us about all this air conditioning stuff. And I said, well, let me call this guy and see if maybe he can help me.
Okay.
I called you. You were very generous. You said, okay, I'll be out there, and you came out personally. You checked the home out thoroughly. You made some suggestions, and they came out, they implicated them, and they worked.
Now, originally, where in the house were the hot issues when we originally went out there?
Over the garage. There's a room over the garage that I like, and that's
Okay.
room.
and you turn that room above the garage, which we typically in the construction industry we call that like a bonus room.
Yes.
And you converted that into your master bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. And then there was another issue where you had your son's room downstairs, if I'm correct.
Right under my room, or right under my bathroom, his room was also very hot. So the two of us were uncomfortable, hot, and the rest of the house was cold.
All right, so it's cool. And when we went and looked at it, one of the things that I saw is, when you make recommendations, you can always walk in and say, okay, if money is no issue, you can recommend 100% what it should do. It should have been done the right time, zoning and all this other fancy stuff. But you can't always go into somebody and say, oh, by the way, you can fix that little bit of problem for $10,000.
Yeah.
So you're right. I mean, that's crazy. Okay, well, I'll live with the 5 or 10 degrees difference for $10,000. I'll put a little separate fan or something. So when you look at these things, we have to look at, what is causing the issue, which it's a standard issue in a 2-story house that there's, air conditioning is heat penetrating the home from the windows, the doors, the attic. That's where heat gets into. If there were no heat outside, we wouldn't need air conditioning because we wouldn't have any heat that came into the home, so we really wouldn't have to get rid of much except for anything internally.
Right.
So because your room is upstairs and because of being surrounded with outside walls and whatnot, when that hot air comes through there, you can't just blow cold air in and expect that hot air to go away. So yeah, in the real world, having separate systems with separate returns, everything, but your house wasn't built that way. So
Right.
to do something like that, you would have been looking at thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and that was insane. So what we decided to do was, okay, let's find a way to get a return, which is what sucks the hot air out of that room. We suck that hot air out and we bring it down to the main section of the house that has main return and allow that to circulate through the system to the best of our ability with what we already have to work with. And now with your son's room, the issue with your son's room was, if I remember correctly, he had a lot of computer equipment. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So when you have that extra computer equipment, well, when they originally designed the home, they're not thinking that there's going to be, all this computer equipment putting off all this heat and all the extra load in that house. So they're not putting as much cold air into that room, and then they're not exhausting as much hot air.
Right.
So what we did is I made a suggestion for the air conditioning company to come out and add a larger duct to that room and reroute it into a different direction so that we could get more airflow into that room.
And he's happy.
And he's happy. So what happened is we made that suggestion. An air conditioning company came out and made the changes based on my recommendations. And what happened after the air conditioning company left?
Everything was fine. My room was fine, his room was fine, and we were all very
For how
happy.
long?
How long? Oh, my goodness, until December the 15th.
Okay, so we're looking at least 2 years.
Oh, yes.
So for 2 years, what we did to fix the problem. Now, it wasn't the most perfect fix. It wasn't let's zone this and let's put 2 air conditioning systems in and let's put this expensive $5,000 zoning system in. And yeah, you could do stuff like that, but it didn't make sense. Because what we did was, I don't even remember, what was the cost of what we did? Under $1,000?
Under $1,000,
It was under $1,000 that we made those minor repairs, and it fixed your problem.
Yes.
And now, once again, don't mention the name of the company, but, okay, so talk to me about what happened. What persuaded
No, I'm
you?
listening to the radio because I'm an avid radio listener. And I hear about this solar company that will come out and, save you money on your FPL bill, which, I'm all for that. Change your water heater and get attic fans, and everything will cool down to about maybe 75, 80%. It'll take my bill down. Whether it's realistic or not, it sounds good. It's good for the environment, so I agreed.
Now, was it 70, 80% of the total bill, or
Yes.
the total bill?
Yes.
That's a very strong claim.
Oh, yes.
That's a very strong claim. Yeah, because that's okay. I mean, I'd love to see the statistics on that, but okay, go ahead. So, all right, so you had the company come out, and then what happened?
They came out, they put in the fans, they did the water heater.
Now, what were the fans? Tell me about the fans. What did
They're
they talk to you about that?
And the solar fans, according to them, will remove the hot air from the attic, which will make the house cooler, which will then, another 20% on my electric bill. It'll save me, and I thought, okay, that sounds fair, and maybe, it'll cool my room down even more, so that's great.
Okay. So the solar fans, obviously what it's doing is, now what did they do? Cut 2 holes in the actual roof?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so they cut 2 holes, circular holes, attach the fans, and I guess the fans have a solar panel on them that are powered, obviously, by solar energy.
They do.
Now, does it just accumulate the solar energy to run, or if there's not enough solar, it runs off the electricity as well?
Well, my understanding, it's solar only.
Solar only. So if it's overcast for 10 days, they're just not going to run.
I didn't even go there.
Okay. Now, what was the additional? Now, when they originally came out, you were only looking for the water heater.
Yes.
Okay. And if you don't mind me asking, what was the additional cost of the solar fans?
About $1,000 each.
So $2,000 to put some fans in.
Yes.
Okay. Now, just using some theory here. When you reduce the heat load in a house, and I know this because I do hundreds of load calculations for probably half the builders in South Florida. When you reduce the amount of heat that's coming into the house, you don't need as much air conditioning to cool the house. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But if I already have the air conditioning system in there and I'm over cooling the house, because supposedly if I'm taking so much heat out of the attic, and that means that there's not a lot of heat penetrating the ceiling, which is one of the bigger heat loads. So I don't need as much air conditioning to cool the house. Well, what happens now is if I already have this big air, let's say for argument's sake, let's say 4 tons of air conditioning. Now I put these attic fans in, and miraculously I reduce the heat load in the house, and now I only need 3 tons of air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I still got 4 tons of air conditioning. So what's happening now is I start short cycling this air conditioning system because it turns on and it's so large that it cools the house down so quickly that you get the temperature, but it's still extremely humid in the house. Okay, this is the number. This is why the state of Florida has made it mandatory to do load calculations in replacement air conditioning systems, because over 60 to 70% of every home in South Florida and possibly nationwide, the air conditioning systems are oversized because things were not done properly to begin with.
Gotcha.
So now what happens is, okay, we reduce that heat. Now we're overcooling the house, especially on the second floor, because that's where the heat and humidity go. So now I cool the house down so quickly, and because upstairs, now that I've cooled the house down so quickly, I'm not able to run the air conditioning long enough to circulate that air upstairs and get the dehumidification and the return that I need. Then we cause problems.
You're absolutely right.
There you go. So now one concern that I had is, and this is where I'm kind of stumped, is then in one of your emails you mentioned that your brother disconnected the solar fans.
Yes.
Okay. How long were they disconnected for?
About, I'd say a week now.
A week. And okay, and recently we've had a couple warmer 83 plus days.
Okay.
But what did you notice in your room and or your son's room while those fans were off? You said it was still.
First off, let me tell you, my son's room is fine.
It's still fine.
Downstairs
Okay.
is fine.
Okay.
My room was about 85 one evening, and the downstairs was 73. Because my brother bought his laser heat thing here, and a big difference. And then the room feels like, I guess, like there's no air flowing.
Right. And see, that's where I'm just trying to wrap my head around, and obviously without coming out, which I can't do, without coming out, is trying to understand with them being disconnected, what could be causing that situation now, unless something has changed from then to now. And that's the whole point, Melanie, is, if we talked about this, is, regardless of all the stuff that this company is telling you, it's just a simple theory. Nobody needs to go out and determine, well, obviously somebody's going to have to go out and determine what's causing it now, but here's the issue. It worked. It didn't work. Okay, let's simplify it. The KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay, now I'm not calling you stupid. I'm just saying, just in general, is okay, if it worked, what happened from the point in time that it worked and it didn't work?
That's what I tried to explain to them. I said, all I want is to have my room back to, the way it was. Think outside the box, because something has occurred.
Right.
And he thought, oh, maybe they crushed your bed, they did this, they did that.
Maybe who crushed it?
Up that there's nothing wrong.
Right.
You're crazy, and this house is made wrong.
So they're not looking at, well, okay, guys, it worked before, it doesn't now. So what happened? What did we do? And that just doesn't make sense to me. Something had to happen. Something.
They changed the work you suggested. I don't know how.
Oh, they did?
Well, no, I'm saying it had to. This is the only conclusion is they had to touch or move something.
Something had to, because if it was working fine and now all of a sudden, and especially that you said you've disconnected the fans. Yeah,
we thought that was going to make a big difference.
Exactly. So
not make any. Well, my brother says it made a degree or two difference.
Yeah, but it should. If you would disconnect, if the fans were originally causing the problem, which something had to cause the problem because it was great, now it wasn't. So we disconnect those fans, and now all of a sudden, even though we disconnect them, we're still back to square one.
Yes.
Okay, something had to. Now, were there any other companies, cable, phone, anything else that you did in your home from this time that it worked to it didn't work besides that one company?
No, because I'll be honest, the next day we noticed that the room was hot.
That quickly?
And I called because, I was very surprised.
Right.
Something's going on. It's very warm in my room. And I was told by secretary, people that came out and put it together, there was 2 guys, no, that's impossible. I said, no, this is what I'm living now. I'm telling you because it's my room. I live here, and there's a difference.
And see, that's just poor customer service to begin with. And something happened, something went wrong, and it's unfortunate that it's happening, and that there's, and then the email replies that you get, and just the bashing. It just
I know.
You got it. When I read that, I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
I was shocked.
And when you first sent me that, I was like, "Did she not read that?" And then all of a sudden, while I'm typing, you're sending me another email. I'm like, "Oh, now she sees it."
I have to apologize for that because I did not anticipate that at all.
Yeah.
I've always been in a customer service sales field, and I've never behaved like that.
Oh, absolutely not. And it just sounds like from scratch one, that they were like that. Hey, Mel, can you hold on just a little bit? We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about this. Is that okay?
Oh, yes.
Oh, great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Comfort Time Live, and we got an issue that we're trying to work out here. So stay tuned.
No wonder the unlicensed contractors fear you. There you go. There's only 2 kinds of contractors that don't like Tom Platania. Unlicensed ones and unscrupulous ones.
772-340-1590. Do you want to join our topic of conversation? Give us a call.
Known for helping you keep that spark, now they'll help you keep cool. Elite Electric and Air, the official air conditioning sponsor of Comfort Time Live, has provided the best in heating and cooling customer service since 1988. If your electric bill is costing you more than 12 cents per square foot under air, you may be overpaying the utility company. Elite Electric and Air can help put that cash back in your pocket. Call Elite Electric and Air with 24-hour service. Dial 340-3797. That's 340-3797. Known for helping you keep that spark, now they'll help you keep cool. Elite Electric and Air, the official air conditioning sponsor of Comfort Time Live, has provided the best in heating and cooling customer service since 1988. If your electric bill is costing you more than 12 cents per square foot under air, you may be overpaying the utility company. Elite Electric and Air can help put that cash back in your pocket. Call Elite Electric and Air with 24-hour service. Dial 340-3797. That's 340-3797.
Elite Electric.
We can do it.
Elite Electric.
There's nothing to it.
Elite Electric.
Ooh, amazing.
Elite Electric.
Boogie, woogie, woogie, woogie.
Elite Electric specializes in all of your electrical needs, from security lighting to surge protection and everything in between. How do you think they got their name? Elite Electric. Elite Electric has been family-owned and operated on the Treasure Coast since 1988, and they're recommended by Comfort Time Live. Visit online at eliteelectricandair.com and learn more about their services. Elite Electric. Service today. Proud sponsor of Comfort Time Live every Thursday evening at 6:05 on WPSL 1590.
No matter what you want, just pick up your phone, say, come on, Elite.
And we'll get the job done.
We can do it.
Elite Electric.
There's nothing to it.
Elite Electric.
And now, back to Comfort Time Live with your host, Tom Platania.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 772-340-1590. If you'd like to give us a call and join in to our conversation, we have a young lady, Melanie, on the phone, who has, did I pronounce that correctly?
No.
No, it's Melania, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I apologize, Melania.
It might have been my writing.
No, it's me, because I'm sitting there looking at your writing and I'm remembering back to my email, and I'm just, I'm just a retard sometimes. That's all. I apologize. So we're talking to Melania. What we're discussing is Melania's been a long-time listener, and years ago I went out and made some suggestions on how to correct. She had a room in her house that was extremely hot, second floor, and we were limited to what we could do. We were obviously limited to resources and funding and whatnot, but we tried to do was find the best way to solve the problem. And you know what? The suggestion that was made, an air conditioning company came out and did what I made a recommendation. And for the past 2 years, Melania has been absolutely perfect in her home. Well, what she did is she decided to have a company that she heard on the radio. And, well, I guess that kind of goes with how why Comfort Time Live is around, is to try to help folks from getting into situations like this. And, every company makes a mistake, but it's how we resolve the issue, if there is ever one, that separates the men from the boys. And obviously we're looking at a company that are just, perhaps a bunch of boys right now, because they've done an absolutely horrible job in taking care of Melania and her issue. And so what had happened is they came in, they did a new water heater. That was a solar water heater, Melania?
Yes, it is.
Okay, solar water heater, which that makes a lot of sense. The solar water heater, and you probably have noticed a reduction. With that.
No.
No. Oh, okay. Well, then there's even bigger issues.
Well,
Because
it's not the water heater. Because of this whole problem, I've had to have my air down to 70.
Oh, yeah. So air conditioners, 60, according to Florida Power and Light, 59% of your electric bill is air conditioning. So, you might be saving on one end, but dropping the temperature on the other, and that's causing your electric bill to probably be even higher.
Oh, it's going to be. I haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah, see, and that's what's out there. And, these companies, it boggles my mind. And unfortunately, and you're a very intelligent woman, so I know no fault of yours, but there's these companies out there every day doing stuff like this. And, it should be, Melania, we made a promise to you and we didn't solve it. You know what? Up to and including giving you your money back, taking our product out, saying we apologize that we weren't able to solve the issue. You know what? Bite the bullet, because I guarantee you, I know how upset you are, I guarantee you the publicity that they're going to get now, they will cost them probably about 10 to 50 times more than what if they had just said, I'm sorry, did what they had to do, and part ways.
Yes.
Because so what Melania did is she had 2 solar fans installed based on the premise that if I install these solar fans, it's going to take the heat out of my attic. Okay, that's a theory, because with a lot of new construction nowadays, some of the things that we do is they have this product called Icynene. And Icynene is a spray foam that's highly R-rated, insulated rated, and they spray it on the roof line. And what that does is that makes the attic much cooler. So what happens is we don't have as much load in the attic, on the ceiling, and also the ductwork that's in the attic doesn't have as much heat on it from sitting up in a 140-degree attic. So what that does is it dramatically reduces the amount of air conditioning required. But if you have a 4-ton air conditioning, if the house doesn't need 4 tons of air conditioning and it still has a 4-ton air conditioning system, you're actually hurting it more than you're helping it. Because now what's going to happen is when an air conditioner turns on, it draws 2 to 3 times more power on startup than it does if it runs for a little bit longer. So let's say a system were to run for 20 minutes versus a system come on and off every 5 to 10 minutes. It's going to draw 2 to 3 times more energy, but because it's coming on and off very quickly, what's going to happen is it doesn't run long enough to take the moisture out of the air. So now our electric bill goes up, not down. Okay, and then also the humidity, you having to crank the thermostat way down in order to get the humidity level in the house to get the air conditioning system to run long enough to get some humidity out, that you've completely defeated the whole purpose of what you're doing.
Yes,
so,
that's true.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are going to do something like that, you need to have an expert do, honestly, what's called a load calculation. And now, did they do something like that, Melania, when they first installed these?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. And see, that should have been done, because what that would have told us is what the temperature difference in the attic is going to be and how much that's going to reduce the air conditioning load on the house. And that right there would have told them that they should not have installed those at all.
Yes.
They should not. Stick with the solar hot water heater. That's what I called you for. Now you've thrown this other stuff into the mix. You've made a whole tobacco out of this whole thing. You've created an issue, and now I'll never do business with you again, and you have lost hundreds and hundreds of clients because I'm going to tell the world. And this is why I started Comfort Time Live. Is some of these people, they all they see is the big S with the lines through it. You know what that is, Melania?
Well, I know this is a $10,000 job that I look like I'll be paying for.
Yeah, so they saw dollar signs. That's all. They saw dollar signs, and now they're sitting back, they're collecting their money. And I'm not trying to make you feel worse. I want the listeners out there to really truly understand what's going on. There's a consequence and a process to everything. If you build something and you change it, there's things that happen, cause and effect. And everybody doing this has to understand, not you, the contractors, they have to understand what the effect of or the causes of what they're doing and what other things, the ripple effect, are going to be affected from what they're doing. And these guys aren't doing it. They just see the big dollar signs. That's all they see now. How much were you going to get back on the rebates? I think a couple $1,000s, you said, right?
They said Florida Power and Light $2,900. They were going to give me $1,000 back. Of course, I haven't heard anything on that.
Now, what were they giving you the $1,000 back from?
Just to sign up for the fans.
So it's $2,000 for the fans, and they're going to give you $1,000 back for the fan.
Right, but now I'm being told that I should be sued because I'm not happy with the service.
Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense. You're unhappy with the service, so we're going to sue you because you're an unhappy client.
Not going to get the $1,000 as well. So
yeah. No, it's just, if everything I'm saying is based on what you are telling me, Milana. I'm not. I didn't come back out to the house, and unfortunately, because of the circumstances, I won't be able to do that. But you've heard my sponsor.
Okay.
Did you hear my sponsor on the commercial?
I did.
Okay. Give them a call.
Okay.
Go to Comfort Time Live, get their phone number, 340-3797, or no, not 347, I think it is. But go to my website. You'll see the phone number there. Give them a call. He'll probably contact me, asking me a little bit about the situation. Let them come out. Let them evaluate the situation and see if there was something else done.
Okay.
And
I wanted to do before I take any other action.
yeah, I would. I'd find out what really happened. And the owner of the company and the people that work for him, very, very intelligent individuals, and hopefully they're going to be able to figure out and just be upfront and honest with them, tell them everything that happened and what's going through. And I still stick to my guns on what I said, but you got to, obviously we're on the radio now, so everybody's going to hear it. But,
Right.
If you're unhappy with a company, and regardless of what it is, if they made a promise to you and they're not living up to their promise, there's very little recourse at some points that owners have. One of them is notifying the Better Business Bureau. If they are an accredited Better Business Bureau company, there'll be a lot of pressure put on them to try to resolve the situation. Okay? Whether it gets resolved or not, at least there'll be somebody else looking out for you. Calling the building department of whatever that is. Call the building department and ask the building department to come out and see if work that was done. And you might be able to just tell them over the phone. And red flags may go up like crazy and go, oh, wait a minute. I don't show any permit, because they'll be able to look on our computers. And they'll be able to tell right away that that should have had a permit done, and I show no permits whatsoever. Now, I don't know for what exactly they did or if any permits were required, but call the building department, ask them, and they'll be able to tell you. And I'll tell you, that'll send red flags up. And once again, that'll give you another individual to help stand behind you to get this corrected. Okay? And then, if none of this helps, and you have one other recourse, and that's civil action. Based on what you're telling me. But like I said, I would have another company come out.
Definitely.
Have them call the company up, have them come out and examine what happened, explain the whole process to them. I'm sure they're going to contact me and ask me what my original thought was, and I'll tell them exactly what happened and make sure that they know that it worked fine. And then maybe they can give some suggestions as to possibly what could have happened. And even if they don't, I wouldn't let them fix anything right now. What I would do is let them look at it. Just pay them for the diagnostic to look at it and say, okay, what has changed? I don't know if I would fix it right now, but you guys discuss that with them and see what happens. But I would take lots of pictures.
Okay.
Lots of pictures of everything, pictures of the work that they did, everything. Just go. You got a smartphone?
Yes, we have a good camera too, so we'll get all that done.
Blow it all up. Pictures of it. Have the guy go into the attic and take tons of pictures with his camera, so that you can see all the ductwork, anything that possibly could have happened, anything that could have been disconnected or smashed or anything of that nature. Or
they undid something that your guys did to make it work.
Exactly, possibly.
Simple, but something had to change.
Yeah, something had to change. We just have to find what changed. Because if it was only the attic fans, then when you disconnected the attic fans, everything should have changed it back. Everything should have worked again. So something happened. We just don't know what it is. But the other great thing is that the gentleman coming out, Elite Electric and Air, they also are electrical contractor as well. So they're going to be able to look at the electrical aspect of this and see if anything changed as well.
And then make some suggestions, and I'll have to have it done.
Yeah, make some suggestions, and I would find out. Call all those other people first, especially the inspectors and whatnot, before anything gets changed.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, this way everything can be looked at and documented before any changes are made. But I'm sorry. I hate to see stuff like this happen. But once again, that's why I started Comfort Time Live, and I'll do the best I can, Melania. I'll do the best I can to help see you through this. without getting myself caught in the middle of legal action.
Oh, yes.
I just I do that. But you know what? As long as we're going off of, we're keeping things without talking about names and we're just giving recommendations and advice, then we're in good shape.
Yes.
We're in good shape. And
I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know, of course.
By all means, please do. And I'll probably know from when you contact the other company.
Okay.
But I really appreciate you calling in tonight, and I hope some of the advice has helped. And, hey, if you go to make any other decisions like this,
I will call you first.
Call me first. All right, Melania, thank you so very much, and I look forward to talking to you very soon.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
all right, wonderful.
Wow.
All right,
what a story.
Yeah, and I feel so bad. She's such a sweet lady. She really, really is such a sweet lady, and I really hate to see stuff like this happen to people. But there are companies out there, ladies and gentlemen, that will rip you blind, and they'll smile on the way to the bank while they do it.
And blame it on the people that built the house?
Yeah, but the whole thing,
the house is bad.
The company sends me this email ripping me apart because I told her that you need to contact the building department and let them come out and inspect it. Well, what's wrong with that? If you don't have anything to hide.
Yeah, I've nothing to hide. What are you worried about?
What are you worried about?
Yeah.
The building department should look at it and find that there's nothing wrong and be a happy camper.
That's right.
But, boy, they sent me this, 3-page email just ripping me apart. I'm going to sue you. You can sue me for nothing. I gave her advice based on what she told me the issue was. So I don't care what company you are. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I'm giving advice to a listener on what they should do to take recourse to fix the problem.
And this also gives information to people out there who are in the process of needing some things done that they don't get screwed around with by some of these unscrupulous companies.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's why Comfort Time Live is here. So you want to make sure you stay tuned every Thursday at 6:05. Right here on WPSL and
Both
WSTU.
stations, yes.
Yeah, both stations. And YouTube and Ustream and Comfort Time Live and Twitter and Facebook and blah, blah, blah.
Wow. One great big media monster.
Treasure Coast Radio Network.
Really? Seriously.
Have a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you next Thursday.
This is WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. And this is also WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast. Comfort Time Live, Thursday evenings in the 6 o'clock hour, right here. Have yourselves a great one.